Have you ever noticed that someone who is warm, kind, and genuinely attentive when it is just the two of you becomes almost a stranger the moment other people are in the room? They laugh louder. They look past you. They forget you exist. And the terrifying part is not that it happened. It is that you could not explain why. You ran through every possible reason. Did you say something wrong? Do they secretly not like you? Are you imagining it? You were not imagining it. What you were experiencing has a name. And once you understand the psychology behind it, you will never look at group dynamics the same way again. Welcome to People Decoded, where we pull back the curtain on human behavior using real science. No fluff. No self-help platitudes. Just the uncomfortable truth about why people do what they do. Today, we are going deep on one of the most disorienting social experiences there is. Why the same person treats you completely differently the moment a group is watching. Here is where it starts. In 1965, psychologist Robert Zayonk discovered something strange. When people perform tasks in front of others, their performance changes. Dramatically. For easy, familiar tasks, the presence of others makes you better. For difficult or unfamiliar tasks, the presence of others makes you worse. He called this social facilitation. But what it really revealed was something deeper. Other people are not neutral. Their mere presence activates something primal in us. A monitoring system. An invisible performance mode. The moment someone walks into a room, everyone in that room begins managing how they appear, including the person you thought you knew. Sociologist Irving Goffman had a theory. He said that human social life is essentially a performance. We are all actors, always on stage, always managing the impression we give to whatever audience is present. When it is just you and one other person, the audience is small, the performance is relaxed, the mask is thinner. But the moment a group forms, the audience expands. The stakes change, and people unconsciously shift into a version of themselves designed for that crowd. This is not manipulation. It is not malice. It is survival. Status, belonging, and social acceptance are some of the most powerful forces in human psychology. They are, on a neurological level, as important to the brain as physical safety. So when someone is suddenly surrounded by their co-workers or their friend group or their family, they are not choosing to treat you differently. They are adapting. The unsettling truth is this. You may be one of the few people who ever sees their real face. Now here is where it gets darker. When people become part of a group, something shifts in their psychology. They begin to lose their individual sense of self. They become part of something larger. And in doing so, they become more susceptible to the group's norms, energy, and behavior.
Psychologists call this de-individuation. It explains why crowds behave in ways no individual would alone, why people say things online in groups that they would never say face-to-face, why mob mentality is real and terrifyingly predictable. In everyday life, de-individuation is subtler, but no less real. In a group, people are more likely to mirror whoever holds the most social status. They are more likely to go along, to laugh when others laugh, to dismiss what others dismiss. And if the group does not value you in that moment, the individuals inside it often will not either. Even if they do when they are alone with you, you are not being treated differently because of you. You are being treated differently because of where you rank in their current social hierarchy. Here is the piece most people never figure out. Every social group has an invisible hierarchy. It is not always about money or looks or even how loud someone is. It is about perceived social value, and it shifts constantly. When someone treats you well in private, it may be because in private they can be genuine. There is no cost to being kind to you when no one is watching. But in a group, every interaction carries a social signal. How they treat you tells the group something about them, about where they stand, about who they are aligned with. If acknowledging you warmly elevates their status, they will. If dismissing you seems to do the same, they might do that instead. This is cold, it is uncomfortable, but it is the psychological reality of group behavior, and it has been documented in research environments from corporate offices to elementary school playgrounds. The question that should follow you out of this video is not why are they doing this, It is what does the group environment tell me about who this person really is. There is one more mechanism at work that very few people talk about. In groups, individuals often look to others to decide how to behave. If no one in the group is openly warm to you, many people will not be either, not because they do not want to be, but because they do not want to be the first. This is related to a psychological phenomenon called pluralistic ignorance, where everyone privately feels one way but publicly conforms to what they think the group believes. So the person who ignores you in a group? In private, they might tell you they find group dynamics exhausting, that they do not know why everyone acts so differently, and they might mean every word of it. The mask is not always a lie. Sometimes the mask is the group itself. Now, you might be watching this and thinking, okay, this is fascinating, but what do I do with it? Here is the practical side. First, stop over-personalizing group behavior. When someone treats you differently in a group, your brain will try to make it about you. It is almost never purely about you. It is about the social architecture they are operating inside. Second, pay attention to who someone is when the audience is small. That version of them is closer to the truth. Not perfect, but closer. Third, be careful about the groups you let define your relationships. If someone consistently treats you as less valuable when others are around, that tells you something important. Not necessarily about their character, but about where you fall in their social calculus. You can decide what to do with that information. Fourth, be honest about your own mask, because you wear one too. We all do. The question is whether your private face and your public face are close enough together that the people who matter most are not left feeling confused by the distance. People are not simple. They are layered, contradictory, context-dependent creatures, shaped by invisible social forces they rarely understand themselves. That person who becomes a stranger in a crowd, they are not necessarily fake. They are not necessarily unkind. They are human, operating on instincts that were wired in long before they had words for any of it, and now so are you. If this decoded something for you, consider subscribing. Every week we go deeper into the psychology of how people behave and why understanding it changes everything. Until next time, stay curious.